guys, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your week ahead reading. Just to let you know how the reading's going to go, we do your weekly check-in first. Then we have a look at more specifically your work, stroke finance, and we also have a look at your love life during the week. If you'd like to see a particular reading, so if you'd like to only look at your work reading or only your love reading or maybe just the general reading, timestamps are below. So you just click on the time and it will take you straight through to the reading that you want to view. I'd like to say, guys, thanks ever so much for joining me this week for your reading. And yeah, sit back, relax and enjoy. Hi Gemini, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. So we're going to do your week ahead reading now, 20th to the 26th of January. We're going to start with your general, move on to the work and then the love. So let's start. Okay Gemini, so the cards are down. Yeah, so I'll just very quickly let you know how this Celtic cross is done. All right, this is how I do my Celtic cross on this particular reading. We've got the situation that you're facing in the week in this area here, Gemini, and we've got what's influencing this situation here. We have the root cause of this all happening. What's the situation really about here? And this is where you got what you guys have experienced in the last 2 to 3 weeks here. And as a result of all of those energies there, where are things evolving? How are things going to evolve? More than likely, how will things evolve based on just these energies here? Coming in towards the end of the week shows here, and this is how you're handling everything here. In position 8, we have the advice from the universe. How does the universe advise you to handle the situation, or what should you do? This is your hopes or fears, and this is where everything is evolving. So from the immediate future, which is, I call it towards the end of the week, or if this isn't the end of the week, it's going into the following weeks, what we're seeing is an evolvement. And this area should say, well, what comes of this area here, how things evolve from this state here. Okay, hope that makes sense. Let's have a look at what you're facing, Gemini. Oh, nice, the Magician. So things manifesting often with the Magician, and the Magician is an interesting card because it actually is one of your majors, isn't it? Because it rules, the Magician is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury I think is one of the ruling planets of Gemini. The Magician is actually communication. It rules communication. The Magician does any type of communication, email, text, verbal. It's also, the energy is very fast moving with this. So in terms of timing, the Magician is basically an instant thing. It's like maybe even a couple of hours or something like that. So things manifesting instantaneously. The Magician is also, though, a card that indicates that we hold the power. We have the power to create whatever it is that we want to create. And this is where, with this Magician, you can see all of these things, the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Coins, the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, juggling all of these elements. So this is all about juggling the various elements in our life, juggling the various things within our life. When you get the Magician. So you might be fighting with the Magician energy. The situation is all about things manifesting, things being created, things coming into being. And it might be, because the Magician often represents the client, it may be this week, Gemini, that it's the situation that you're facing is that you're going to have to juggle all of these various elements within your life, whether it's the element of money, ideas, emotions, and action. So you may have to juggle various elements in your life this week, okay? Like everything. Let's have a look at what's influencing that Magician energy. The Two of Cups. All right. So maybe a relationship is manifesting here for you. So a relationship could literally be coming through. You might be managing all the elements of that relationship. But I feel that just to simplify the reading, Gemini, it feels like the situation you're facing is the instantaneous manifestation of a relationship, a connection with another person. So this could be new love coming in for some of you guys this week. What's the reason that this is occurring? Because of an Emperor or the Emperor showing up here. So because of an order, for example. It feels like it's a universal order though, because Emperors usually represent order. So for example, when you get an Emperor card, for example, if you do online shopping, I did a reading for my twin sister the other week, and she just wanted to see what was coming in for her week, and I said there'll be a problem with an order. I saw the Emperor, and then I saw, it might have been a Five of Swords or something like that, so getting money back for an order, something like that. And it came true. The week came in and she had problems getting, she'd sent a package back and she was having problems getting a refund on that order, you know. So this is actually an order. When you get Emperors, they represent orders, but they can literally be things that you order online, or your shopping bill or something that is ordered. Well, I just feel that with the Emperor energy, I mean, the reason that this is happening is because of the Emperor. All right. Now, this could be the person. All right, this could be the Emperor. This could be the person who's taking control of the situation. Maybe there's somebody who is telling you that they have feelings for you. Maybe somebody is taking the lead. Maybe somebody is taking charge with the Emperor energy. Because the Emperor is all about taking charge. It's about taking leadership. Okay, so it could be the root issue is an Emperor. The reason that this relationship is manifesting, or this connection is manifesting, is because of a person, an Emperor, whether it's a person who takes charge, whether maybe it's a father, maybe you're speaking to your father again for some of you guys, or maybe the universe has ordered this with the Emperor saying, well, because it's because of an order, maybe you've been ordered or told to reconcile a difference with an individual here, for example. What's been happening in the past 2 to 3 weeks for Gemini? The Seven of Swords, interesting. The Seven of Swords, I mean, this could be an agreement as well, for example. Something's been ordered, maybe there's an agreement here coming through. Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is a tricky card, because the Seven of Swords, if you've experienced the Seven of Swords in the last 2 to 3 weeks, this can be a deception. Yes, it can. But it can also be somebody who's run away, or somebody's run off, or maybe somebody's ghosted you, or maybe you've run off from a situation with that Seven of Swords. Because this can be the card of avoidance, running away with the Seven of Swords, but it can also be the card of wanting to devise a new strategy, putting a plan of action into place. He doesn't look like he's planning, he just looks like he's getting away with stuff. How many is he carrying? He's carrying, he's dropped the Two Swords. He's run off, 1, 2, 3, he's got 5 in his hand. Can you see that, Gemini? This guy has got 5 swords in his hand, and he's dropped the other 2. So this person has gotten away with something, but not everything. This is partial achievement. So it might be that in the last 2 to 3 weeks, you've partially achieved something here. You haven't achieved everything here, Gemini, but you've partially made some achievements. We'll see what that's in, perhaps, with some clarifiers. Based on everything, and we don't really know where this is going so far, so based on everything so far, how is the situation more than likely going to evolve? Alright, there's a judgment here. Alright, so it's evolving to a judgment. It could be something legal here, for example. So a final decision being made with the judgment, anything. It might be that things are, the way that everything is going is that something is going to result in evolve to a final decision being made. This can also be running away, escaping. I don't really know where the story is just yet, but we'll find it in a moment. What's coming in the latter stages, or what? I always say what could be, because it will happen for some and for some not. What could be happening towards the latter stages of the week? Oh, so this is reconciliation, joy, happiness, togetherness, the Three of Cups energy. How are you approaching everything, Gemini? The Hermit. I think that you're being very cautious, but I also feel that you have a keen eye on stuff. Because if you, it depends with the Hermit. I always feel that the Hermit is more looking into something rather than trying to detach. I mean, the Hermit can definitely be about detachment. Yes, it can. But the Hermit is also one of those cards that says, well, if I'm the Hermit, I'm either withdrawing, or I'm trying to find the truth. All right, because the nines represent attainment as well. So the Hermit can represent the attainment of truth. Okay, so maybe you're approaching everything as a private eye would be. Maybe you're investigating this situation. Maybe you're taking your time to attain the truth here with the Hermit energy showing up here. It's interesting. I don't really know where the reading's going as yet. What is the universe advising you to do? Five of Cups, give up on a situation, I think. I think its advice is just to give up on it, let it go. Five of Cups energy, because fives represent change. The Five of Cups energy means that we have to take one last look back, say goodbye, and then move on. It feels to me like it's advising you to kind of give up on a situation, to let it go. It feels like it's to let it go with the Five of Cups energy. But the thing is, you're not letting it go, are you? You're the Hermit. You're approaching everything with the lamp. You're looking into the situation. You're interested to see how it's going to, resolve itself or pan out. You're investing. You're approaching everything as an investigator would. Root issue is all about an Emperor here, and what's influencing the situation is about an agreement, an Emperor and an agreement here. Facing a manifestation, the Magician energy. So facing a magician. Magician is manifestation. It's influenced by Two of Cups. So it's an instantaneous thing. The Emperor, it's based on an Emperor and order. So you're facing the manifestation. It's based on an order and an agreement here. In the last 2 to 3 weeks, Seven of Swords, Three of Cups. It feels like either you avoided doing this or somebody avoided doing this. Somebody was running away. Somebody didn't want to reconcile. It could be you, Swords. I mean, it's usually Aquarius this is, but it could still be Gemini because it's Sword. Maybe in the last 2 to 3 weeks you experienced either somebody who didn't want to agree with you on something here, somebody who was avoiding, patching something up, and or this could have been you. It feels like somebody has ordered you to agree to make up with someone here. That's how it feels. Because the root issue is all about the reason that you were experiencing the Magician here, an instantaneous, it feels like it's influenced by the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is like the partnership, it's the agreement card, it's the love card, it's the friendship card, it's the coming together card, and it's influenced this energy here. It says that you're facing the Magician, a manifestation here. Now, the Magician can also be somebody who wants to manipulate the elements of a situation. So they want to manipulate something here. And it's to do with a relationship, and the root issue is all about an order. So it almost feels like it's not necessarily a manifestation here. It feels like somebody is trying to manipulate something in a relationship here, and it's based on an order. It almost feels like somebody is ordering you to make up or reconcile with another individual, but this isn't you. You're facing the Magician. The Magician, I don't think, is you, Gemini. I think it's somebody else. I think this person wants you to make up with another individual here this week. And they are ordering it, all right? They want, Falls mean stability. So it's based on trying to maintain order and stability. So that's where I'm going to go with this. I think this is all about maintaining order and stability. The root issue is that somebody is trying to manipulate a relationship here in order to maintain the status quo. That's what I think is going on here, actually. That's what I think is going on. And you know what? I think that this is maybe a relationship that you're in. Sorry, I'm sorry that I chop and change the reading so much, but unless I get it straight in my mind, I'm going to keep changing up what I think this is until I get it straight, what I think is going on. Yeah, I do. I think this Magician is not you. I mean, it could be you. It could be you that's trying to manipulate, and it's because I see this as manipulation. This person has to manipulate the energies of each of these things. The Pentacle, the Cup, the Sword, the Wand, to keep them in the air. By magic, he keeps them in the air. So he has to manipulate the energy. And I'm seeing somebody who's trying to manipulate a situation this week. And it's influenced by staying together, a relationship here, because they want to maintain the status quo. Now, it's either you that's doing it, could be you, because this is one of your cards. It rules Gemini and Virgo, this card does, you know. So it could either be you that's manipulating it or somebody is manipulating it. But one of you wants to maintain the status quo for a relationship. Now, in the recent past, it's either you or this person, whoever it is that's doing the manipulating is trying to stop the other from running away. And it's either you have experienced in the last 2 to 3 weeks. If you are the manipulator, Gemini, you've experienced someone here who wants to avoid this. They don't want to stay in a relationship. If it's the person that's manipulating the situation, then it's you that's done the running away in the last 2 to 3 weeks. The most likely outcome, therefore, based on all of this energy is judgment, all right? So this is all about weighing up the pros and cons. The most likely outcome, where everything is heading, is the need to weigh up the pros and cons. And if you're weighing up the pros and cons as to whether to... Say, for example, you're the magician. You're the one that's trying to manipulate someone into staying in a relationship. Then the most likely outcome is, I think, with the judgment energy, it's going to be crunch time. Because you're going to have to weigh up the pros and cons. Is it worth it? If somebody's trying to get away, if somebody doesn't want the relationship in the Seven of Swords... Is it actually worth continuing to try and manipulate them into staying? Is it worth it? You're going to have to weigh up those pros and cons. Is it going to be worth your time doing that? If you are the one running away and somebody is trying to manipulate you, then I feel the most likely outcome of where things are evolving is a change, judgment energy. Showing here, somebody's going to be seriously thinking, is it worth trying to manipulate Gemini into staying? I really have to look at this situation very seriously, and I have to make a very life-changing decision here. I'm seeing with the Three of Cups perhaps getting on with this individual, showing here. And I feel that because the advice is the Five of Cups, maybe you are the one that's trying to manipulate the relationship here. Okay, or it doesn't have to be. If somebody's trying to manipulate you, Gemini, then the answer to that, the advice would be give it up. All right, because you are doing the Hermit right now. All right, you are doing the Hermit right now. How you're approaching everything is the Hermit. All right, so the Hermit is trying to discover a path. So if you are the one that is trying to manipulate someone to staying with you, then you are approaching everything as the Hermit would. Slowly but surely looking into ways that you can find a path forward, a way forward, I think, with the Hermit energy. Because you're trying to attain knowledge through the Hermit. Nines attain in the Tarot. And with the Hermit, he's trying to attain some insight. So if this is you trying to manipulate someone into staying with you, Gemini, you're trying to attain knowledge of how you can do this, insight and how you can do this. If you're the one that's being chased, though, because if you look here, this person looks like they're being chased and they're just running away. But if it's you that's doing the running away and somebody's trying to manipulate you, then you're approaching everything as the Hermit would, withdrawing. You're keeping your distance, showing here. However, I do see some form of... I don't know whether this is the person. This might be friends. This might be you out with friends, enjoying your time with friends, that type of thing. What are your hopes or fears? I think you want happiness with the Four of Wands. But I think you want a happy resolution. Four of Wands for me doesn't always have to be the happy home. If you're trying to manipulate someone to stay with you, and I'm sorry to call it manipulation, Gemini, but that's what the Magician is a manipulator. If you're trying to manipulate someone to staying with you, Gemini, in a relationship, then your hopes would be that you'll have your happy ever after with the Four of Wands. If you're the one that's being manipulated and you're trying to get away from a relationship, i.e. Seven of Swords, the last 2 to 3 weeks, Hermit withdrawal, then it may be that you hope that with the Four of Wands energy that the situation can be resolved in a happy way. Maybe you end up as just being friends. From this energy here, what is the overall out? Where are things heading from the Three of Cups? Well, it's good. The Nine of Cups energy, satisfaction, happiness and satisfaction. There could be reconciliation here. You could be coming back with this person, for example. I'm going to clarify that. I'm going to clarify that Three of Cups and ask what it means by that in the latter stages of the week. Because I'm just seeing a harmony here being restored here. Because we've got in the last 2 to 3 weeks somebody who is trying to avoid. Let me have a look first in this one. What's this person been trying to avoid in 1 to 2 cards? What's the Seven of Swords person running away from? I mean, they're running away from a house, but what is in that house? What are they running away from in 2 cards? They are running away from love, the Page of Cups, opening their heart, romantic interest with the Page of Cups energy. But the Five of Wands energy shows up there. And for me, the Five of Wands is all about anxieties. Page of Cups energy. The anxieties, Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups is an interesting card because the Page of Cups is all about... We've got 2 different energies here. One we've got is anxiety, Five of Wands energy. And one is the Page of Cups, which is pure love. So the Page of Cups is all about our imagination and what we perceive to be real. It's also a card that indicates drink and drugs and pleasure. Five of Wands energy. So I asked what this Seven of Swords was running away from, and the universe answered. It says, Carol, it's running away from the Page of Cups. Page of Cups, somebody who is childish. Five of Wands energy. Somebody who is childish. I think the Page of Cups is a person. Somebody who's quite childish. I think that this childishness causes friction. I think this Page of Cups is a person. I think you're running away from a Page of Cups, somebody who's quite childish. If they're not a child or they're not like really young, then they act in a really kind of childish way. I think with this Five of Wands energy, they cause a great deal of conflict. Five of Wands energy. I think within, because I asked what are you running away from in the house, and it says a Page of Cups, sorry. Somebody who's quite young or has a young outlook. Somebody with the Five of Wands energy who I think is causing some form of complications. But the Five of Wands, I mean, the Page of Cups, I mean, for example, if you get the Page of Wands and the Seven of Swords, somebody's making a snidey remark or snidey joke. The Page of Wands means jokes and the Seven of Swords means snidey. The Page of Cups is not a joke. It's nice communication, it's friendliness showing up here. The Five of Wands energy is somebody who's worried. Worried about getting too friendly with someone maybe. Are you worried about you're running away from getting too friendly with someone. Worries, fears about getting too friendly. Page of Cups is getting friendly. He's a really friendly chap, really nice. Almost feels like you're running away because you're worried about getting too friendly with someone. Yeah, that's what I think it is. I think that some of you guys in the last 2-3 weeks have run away from someone. You're worried about getting too friendly. But then what is this Emperor? Because somebody wants to maintain the status quo. So how can this be worried about you? This would kind of be like if you only knew them. If you just got to know the person, you would be friendly like a Page of Cups would. But that can't be it, because this person, you must have known them for a long while. So this is someone who's, I think this is somebody who is emotionally blocked. That's what I think it is. I think it's either you're running away from somebody who's emotionally blocked, because the Five of Wands is a block and the Page of Cups is emotion. It's love as well. So you're running away from somebody who's emotionally blocked in the last 2 to 3 weeks. But this person's tried to manipulate you. So you're facing a manipulation. It's influenced by somebody who wants to stay together, the Two of Cups. They want to maintain the status quo. But in the last 2 to 3 weeks, Gemini, you ran away because you felt that emotionally they were quite blocked. Or it could be vice versa. All right, you've tried manipulating someone into staying with you. You want to maintain the status quo, but they've run away because, you see, the thing is, what I think is going on here in this reading so far, Gemini, and I know that I take a bit of time to get to it, and I know that I even repeat myself, but the thing is, I'm scoring my readings when I do it. I'm getting it in my head what I think the reading is trying to say, and that's why I tend to repeat. I had a client, somebody say to me, not a client, but somebody come back and say, oh, you repeat, and it's just the way that I am as a reader. Until I really get that the vision of the story down, I will repeat myself. That's it, really. But yeah, you know what I'm getting from this? I'm getting somebody who will not face up to the truth. I think that, and I think that you guys see the truth. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was you that was being, if anybody is listening to this reading and you're not a Gemini, but you come in and you say, oh, I'm watching this for my Gemini ex, and they're the ones that are the manipulator. Yes, okay, I agree. Because the Gemini could be the manipulator. So if it's your ex, then it's your ex that's doing it, all right? Okay, we've got that sorted. But if it's you that it's experiencing running away, say you were wanting to run away from somebody who's got emotional problems, or they've got these emotional blockages up with that Five of Wands. Five of Wands is also challenges. Challenges, romantic challenges with this Page of Cups is also friendly, and it's also about having fun and joy and all the rest of it in relationships. Also, the Page of Cups is new. So pages represent a new path, and the Five of Wands can represent changes. So a new path and changes as well within those cards. So it feels like one of you has been running away from either evolving the relationship, or one of you is running away because somebody is emotionally blocked. All right, but yet still they want to carry on within the relationship. So it's almost like they don't really take into account that they are not particularly open to they're not particularly emotionally open, but at the same time they want to maintain the relationship for some reason. It's almost like if you're running away from this relationship, Gemini, then you're running away, I think, number one, from someone who's emotionally quite blocked. Number two, you're running away probably from, stepping on a new path in this relationship and those changes coming through. You're running away from either one of those things. And I feel that this is why it's saying the most likely outcome based on everything so far is going to be a judgment, because you're going to have to weigh up the pros and cons. This person more than likely is going to have to weigh up the pros and cons. It feels like somebody's trying to hold on to a relationship here for just keeping it as it is. It feels like they don't want to be on their own. It feels like somebody wants to hold on to a relationship because they're trying to maintain the status quo. It could be somebody's holding on to a relationship because you are instrumental to paying the bills. you know, or somebody's holding on to a relationship because they're scared of being on their own. But I don't think that there's much love here, because the Emperor is not necessarily about love. It's about maintaining security, stability, and the status quo. That's what Emperors do. So if somebody's manipulating this relationship because they want to maintain the status quo, they want to maintain, whether it's, you know, we've got a nice house together and a nice life, I don't want to fuck that over, so I'm going to manipulate the partner into staying because I don't want to give up my little luxuries and stuff like that. It's somebody wants to keep hold of a relationship for anything other than love. It's not about love. We see the Three of Cups coming here in the immediate future, so the latter stages of the week or going into the next 2 to 3 weeks. What do you mean by this Three of Cups is what Gemini will experience? Because this is the coming together card. Yeah, the Six of Cups energy. And the Eight of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so I just feel that there's closeness in this relationship, and therefore the Eight of Wands reverse is about, you know, delays. So there's no movement with that Eight of Wands energy. I just feel that with you start feeling very safe in this relationship, so there's no movement here. So this feels like reconciliation, therefore. It feels like you reconcile with the person. If you're manipulating, the person will reconcile with you. If they're manipulating you, you will reconcile. Then you will decide to reconcile with this person with the Three of Cups. Now, you've been doing this, the Hermit, looking at things from a bit of a distance here, trying to gain some insight, some of you guys. Some of you guys have been a bit withdrawn, but the universe is saying, if you're going to do this, really, you should give this up. Let's have a look at what the universe means by that. Why is the universe advising Gemini to do the Five of Cups? Because this area here is saying that you end up in a really good way. I'm going to clarify that as well. Why is the universe advising that Gemini should do the Five of Cups in 2 cards? The Knight of Wands energy showing here, and the Ace of Swords. So enforcing ideas. I see the Knight of Wands as enforcing, and he's an enforcer. Wands tend to enforce for me. And the Ace of Swords is ideas, but this is also taking actions in terms of a new idea, a new path, developing a new idea. So maybe the universe is saying, Gemini, it's fine if you do that, but what about the ideas that you have for yourself? Because it could either be, well, you should really let this go because it's time for you to start taking action on those ideas that you have, those new ideas. You know, I think it's more than likely that some of you guys want to take action on a new idea. You want a new beginning. The Knights are action orientated, and the Knight of Wands is all about being action driven. So same as the Knight of Swords. This is all about pursuing your desires when you have the Knight of Swords energy. And the Ace of Swords is all about development of a new idea, putting a new idea, a new plan into action. So it almost feels like you need to take action on those plans that you've started devising about your life. That's why it's saying to give it up. But instead, some of you guys decide, and it might therefore be because you decide, and it could run either way. As I say, if you're manipulating the person, then this is saying give it up, because you need to start driving forward all these new ideas, or you need to start putting into action Knight of Swords, Knight of Wands, sorry, a new plan of action with the Ace of Swords. If you're being manipulated, you've probably had new ideas, a new kind of desire to go out there and do something new with your life, and instead you're kind of letting somebody hold you back. Also, somebody could be seducing you, because the Six of Cups also is a card about seduction. Look at the fantasy. It's like, oh, isn't that nice little man with dog and child with dog? Oh, isn't this lovely? Oh, it's so sweet. Oh, nice. It all looks very, very nice. But therefore, for me, the Six of Cups has always been a card about seduction. So you could be being seduced to delay your plans. Eight of Wands reversed. You could be being seduced. That's where the reconciliation comes in, because you're being seduced by the person to delay your plans, not to move forward, to stay. Because they want manipulating you here to maintain the status quo, Gemini. Anyway, from this area, where are things evolving? Nine of Cups, contentment. Okay, fair enough. What do you mean by the things are evolving towards the Nine of Cups? What do you mean that things are evolving towards the Nine of Cups? Right, the Emperor shows again. Okay, so stability, Emperor energy, showing that there. And the Moon, so male and female energy. So feminine energy is the Moon, and masculine energy, masculine and feminine. Okay, let's have a look at these two together. So it's saying it's about the Emperor. So this is putting those boundaries. So contentment, status quo, the Moon energy, dreams, visions. So boundaries, putting those boundaries. We have fire and water, which is interesting. But it's almost like the Emperor. If you look at the Emperor, he holds all the cards. He's got the chess piece. And you look at the Moon is all about your deep dreams and your desires. I think because this is a good card, we have to aspect these very well. Because the Nine of Cups, it can be good or it can be bad. It's aspected, you know, it's clarified by an Emperor. All right, somebody who is taking charge with the Emperor energy showing here. Okay, somebody who is putting things into order. Okay, the Moon energy is all about the dreams that we have, the visions that we have. But somebody who is putting those boundaries, because the Emperor tends to be the card that puts boundaries and limitations. Okay, so it's almost like somebody is limiting one's dreams or one's visions. One's dreams or visions are limited by the essence of the Emperor, because the Emperor is more like a square, and the Moon is very fluid. You know, it's water, ruled by, I think, it's Cancer or Pisces, one of the two. You can read either way. But, it's, you know, this fluid energy here is being kind of, you know, it's being thwarted by that Emperor, because the Emperor would take charge of the rivers. He would say how much one can do, how much this can do, how much that can do. I don't like those energies together, and I think that it's leading to kind of like this with the Nine of Cups energy. If you look here, he looks contented, but he's working on, you know, the Nine of Cups is a card usually that represents happiness and joy and contentment. All right, he's contented to do what he's doing on the card, but it's clarifying really and saying that the Emperor, you know, the Emperor has control. This is all about control over one's emotions. So this is taking control over one's emotions. Control is Emperor, the Moon is one's emotions. So taking control, it's all about taking control of one's emotions. Taking control of one's emotions. Who's taking control of one's? It's leading to taking control of emotions. All right. You know, it's a tricky one in a way with this reading, because I don't know whether to think that this person who's doing this is good or bad. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest, because I think that the Emperor and the Moon, for me, when I look at the Emperor as being somebody who has a great deal of control, self-control, and the Moon being the card that means no self-control. This can be where your emotions, the Moon is cyclical, so this can mean that your emotions are up and down. You know, it's kind of like phases, but the Emperor is stronger in a way than the Moon. Not because it's masculine and feminine, but because the Emperor thinks about things in a rational way. He's more logical. With the Moon, it's more illogical. If that makes any sense, because the Moon is a very confusing card. You can be very confused. You can feel a lot of anxiety, but the Emperor tends to rationalize the confusion of the of the Moon. So this is somebody who is kind of rationalizing the confusion. They're kind of like being able to put into order the things that don't make sense. All right. So maybe this is a good thing. Maybe this is a good thing. I mean, the universe still advises that you should let this go. We're going to do the reading again. Sorry, it's taken 32 minutes to do it. I do apologise. But yeah, let's have a look at, let's have a look at this. I don't know. I mean, it feels like somebody's being talked around in those cards, because I just get somebody who is controlling emotion here. Somebody who is control. But if you're having to control your emotions with the Moon energy, then for me, it kind of lends to wanting to really do something else, but because of this, somebody who seduces you into holding back, or you seducing the person into holding back, Gemini, it evolves into just feeling contented, settling for what is, with this Nine of Cups, saying, yeah, I'm happy, yeah, it's okay. Because somebody has managed to control, somebody who has managed to control one's emotions. It's almost like it's either mind control. It feels like mind control with the Emperor and the Moon. I don't know what it is. It feels like mind control, because it feels like, okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm cool where I am. But it feels like you weren't like that before. Let's put it this way. Let's quickly do the reading again. I'm seeing manipulation, facing manipulation, the Magician. You're either doing it or somebody's doing it to you. Now, what are they trying to manipulate? Well, it's the Two of Cups. Okay, it's a relationship. Why is that? Because they want to maintain the status quo. So obviously somebody wants to leave the relationship. You want to leave it, or the partner wants to leave it. In the recent past, one of you has tried to make a getaway, Seven of Swords. One of you has tried to run away, get away from the relationship. It's all about, the Page of Cups can be feelings being blocked. So some of you guys, it might be, I don't feel the same way as this person, or this person doesn't feel the same way as you. Or it could be that somebody's childishness maybe is causing problems. Or maybe, this is to do with a new path, taking a new path and be these changes. and somebody doesn't want to do that. Either way, somebody doesn't want the relationship. In the last 2 to 3 weeks, somebody's tried to make a getaway. Somebody's tried to run away from the relationship, and whoever it is, the other partner who wants the relationship wants to manipulate you, or you want to manipulate this person into staying. Now, how you're approaching everything is via the Hermit. You're being very careful, very cautious. You're trying to gain more insight, trying to attain more insight into the situation. But coming in, I see reconciliation, because one of you, either you or the partner, depending on who's doing the manipulating, is going to try with that Six of Cups, and they will do it. They will try and seduce you into staying. Eight of Wands in the reverse. So they will seduce you with the Six of Cups into staying and delaying your plans with that Eight of Wands in the Six of Cups in the upright with the Eight of Wands in the reverse. They'll try and seduce you into staying, delaying whatever plans you've got, or you'll try and do it to them. But the universe is saying, if you're trying to manipulate, Gemini, let go of it. All right, and pursue a new plan of action. Take a new course of action here. Knight of Wands and the Ace of Swords. If this person's trying to seduce you into staying, then the universe is still saying, again, just let them go and pursue this new course of action. And I think I know, and the universe always knows best. That's the thing. The universe always knows things before we know it, which is why I don't think that this is a good outcome. Despite how it looks with the Nine of Cups, I don't think it's a good one. Looks like somebody's being controlled. All you want is a happy ever after. Whether you want to stay with this person or not, you just want a happy resolution. The overall outcome from this area here, where it's either you or the partner is seducing the other one into staying, the overall outcome from that will be Nine of Cups. Contentment just to kind of try and mold and to try and work on this relationship. Nine of Cups energy, because somebody is controlling someone else's emotions. I think the Emperor, whoever this Emperor is, whoever it is that wants to maintain the status quo, is controlling the other one's emotions. They're controlling their visions as well, because the moon for me is vision. So it's literally mind control for me. Somebody is doing some mind control here, and it starts here where they seduce you into staying. Look, don't go. We'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do the other. It's so good, the temptation. We don't have a devil here, but the temptation is off the chain. Somebody is tempting the other one into staying. All right, but it's not good, because somebody is being controlled in the aftermath. How things are evolving is that you're actually being controlled by the partner, or the partner is being controlled by you. So I actually don't feel that this is a very good outcome. I won't lie about it. I don't think it is, because I think that somebody is doing something because they, but then again, it's up to the person, isn't it? If it's you and the person, and somebody's trying to manipulate you into staying in a relationship, Gemini, then you could say no, but instead you're seduced into staying. I'm just going to ask how this person seduces you into staying. How does this person seduce Gemini into staying, or how does Gemini seduce this person into staying? Show me in 1 to 2 cards. The Fool. Well, saying there's going to be all change. There's going to be a new life, new things, new excitement, new opportunities with the Fool energy. A breakthrough with the Tower energy, and it's going to bring a break. There's going to be an opportunity. They're going to present you with this opportunity here, that you can kind of break through, that you can kind of break down whatever the relationship has been, to start again, to start healing and cleansing that relationship. The Tower is all about breaking through, breaking things down so you can start to rebuild. So let's just call it rebuilding. They'll be saying, look, we have an opportunity here to rebuild this relationship with the Tower energy showing there. All right. The Two of Cups energy showing here as well, and the Nine of Cups, and the relationship is going to be the best it's ever been. There's an opportunity for us to finally start to heal and to start to rebuild this relationship, Tower. And this relationship, the Two of Cups, is going to be so happy. Nine of Cups again, it's going to be so happy and the best it's ever been, and it's going to be amazing. So somebody is feeding someone a line here, and they're saying it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Okay, it's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm going to do right by you, justice energy, and I'm going to give you the recognition and the love you deserve. I'm going to do the right thing by you, justice, and I'm going to give you the love and recognition you deserve. No more this, no more that. They'll feed you all of the blarney, and where it's heading towards is the Nine of Cups. I mean, we could say, yeah, it would be heading with the Nine of Cups towards satisfaction and contentment, but for me, I don't like the Emperor and the Moon together. I just don't like them as cards. Other readers might read this differently, but I don't like them as cards together, because I think that the Moon energy is all about your deep desires. your deep desire. And there might be with the moon energy, you know, what is this moon about? What do you mean by the moon in 2 cards? Because for me, it feels like there's a deep desire to do something else, but somebody is controlling that. Somebody manages to put boundaries around that deep desire. Because I think it shows it here where you have this passion and this drive to start initiating this new path with the Ace of Swords. But suddenly, because this person feeds you all this stuff, oh, it's going to be amazing, we're going to start rebuilding this relationship, you know, I'm going to make things right again, I'm going to start giving you the attention you deserve, and, you know, the attention, 6 of Swords, justice that you deserve because it's the reward, I'm going to start giving you all of this stuff. And in the end, how things evolve is that you have this contentment, but only because and if you think about the Emperor, he quashes things. So your desires, in other words, it's reading as you're quashing your desires, you know, with this moon and the Emperor. What do you mean by the moon and the Emperor in 2 cards? Can you just clarify that a bit further for us? Right, so we've got the 4 of Cups energy showing here. So the 4 of Cups is about unhappiness. Okay, the Sun overcoming that. So the 4 of Cups energy is about apathy and boredom, and with the Sun energy, it's finally being released and overcoming that. All right, so it's about overcoming that. So maybe this is something else. Maybe it's something else, but I just feel this is taking control of one's emotion. So maybe it's you taking control of your emotions, because you've got the 4 of Cups and the Sun, and this is a good combination. This is apathy and boredom and unhappiness within a relationship, and the Sun is overcoming that. You know, finally, this is all new. Finally, there are new beginnings. But there are new beginnings here. So actually, maybe, but then this has a point. The universe is saying you should let it go. That's the advice, and they know things before we do. They do know, so I don't know what gives, you know. I just feel that this, you know, from this energy here where somebody feeds you all this blarney, how things are leading, 9 of Cups starting to feel happier and contented. Maybe finally with the Emperor energy gaining control of one's emotions, unhappiness. It's clarifying and saying that apathy and unhappiness is overcome. With the Sun energy, there's new beginnings and happiness and joy and confidence and stuff like that showing up here. But I feel that there is a reluctancy at the same time with the 4 of Coins to cooperate. I think going further, there's going to be a reluctancy to cooperate, so to keep the promise that the person's made. That's what I think it is. All right, I think that this is, because it just felt like that sentence wasn't finished. It feels like, yeah, you'll get the happiness with the 9 of Cups, and you'll get all of the contentment from this energy when this person tells you how amazing things are going to be going forward. You'll get from that how things will evolve is to you feeling contented. But really what it's about is that this Emperor is more feeling contented. So I feel that whoever, if you're the Emperor, you're the magician trying to manipulate this person, then you're going to be the one to feeling satisfied because you've been able to quash someone's dreams or visions. If this person is trying to manipulate you into staying Gemini, then I feel that this person gets all of the benefits with the 9 of Cups because they've quashed your visions. They've been able to contain that with the Emperor energy, the vision showing here. So for me, it's not real happiness, it's fake happiness, either way you want to look at it. And, you know, it's all about, it's saying, it's clarifying further and saying, well, Carol, we mean that this unhappiness and apathy that's been felt in the relationship, the Sun energy, is going to be overcome. But, you know, I think it's saying be mindful because this person that tells you this in the long run is going to be reluctant with that 4 of Coins energy to cooperate with you. All right, so to keep their promise, in other words. So at first everything will be fine, but going forward they're probably not going to keep the promise here, and that's why the universe is telling you let it go and pursue this new idea, this new path that you have, because this person, I think, going forward probably isn't going to keep the promise. Let's have a look at what the Quantum Oracle. Oh my goodness, we've done 43 minutes of the general. Sorry guys. Universe, Spirit, what's the advice that you have on this card? What is the advice? Quantum Oracle, what advice do you have? Show me. Yeah, there you go. Intention is back and forth. The advice is somebody's intentions are back and forth. So whether it's you telling someone Blarney Gemini or somebody telling you Blarney Gemini, the intention is going to be, as I said, the intention will be back and forth. They'll go out with all of the best intentions, telling you how things are going to change, how, you know, things are going to be better than they ever were before, how, you know, you're going to start, you know, healing and rebuilding this relationship and blah, 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 you know, or you'll tell them that. But then, whoever it is that manipulates will feel the effects of the Nine of Cups satisfied. They'll just kind of be like, oh, fantastic, because man, I've been able to quash, you know, quarantine. He quarantines the moon. The Emperor doesn't like anything that's out of the ordinary. He certainly doesn't really like the moon. So he's going to quarantine this person's visions, you know. He'll quarantine. Then this is why this person's happy, because they're quarantining your visions, or you're quarantining someone's visions here. Unhappiness overcome with the Sun, but you watch down the road for a coin. They'll be reluctant to keep the promise, I think, with the Temperance, or you're going to be reluctant. Just going back to square one again, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Set the intention to do something great within the relationship, but it's not kept. It's not kept. There's no real movement. What should Gemini or do about the situation? What should Gemini do? If Gemini is the one being manipulated, what should they do about this person? Because this person tends to go back and forth in 1 to 2 cards. Spirit. So the universe is vast. There's vast opportunities here for you to take. Universe is supplying with vast opportunities here, okay? Okay, you need to go to it with a consciousness of great gratitude. You need to have gratitude for the opportunities that are out there. So you need to, I think what it's saying is, in other words, you need to kind of see that there are other opportunities out there for you. If somebody's manipulating you, Gemini, then I feel that their intentions are not rock solid. They go back and forth with that intention card. Therefore, you need to start looking at the opportunities that the universe has out there for you. You need to be grateful. You need to count yourself lucky that there are opportunities for you, to go out there and be grateful, I think, for the loss. You know, she's looking back at the loss. So, approach the loss with great gratitude. In other words, look at what you can learn from this situation. Because I think that this will not work. Whether it's you manipulating the person or the person manipulating you, I think going forward that the situation will not work out either way with this individual. Because it's bullshit. Someone's trying to pull the wool over someone's eyes. Somebody's telling somebody something so they can keep them with them. They're afraid to lose them. And the other one really wants to go. The other one really, really wants to go. All right? But they won't go because they're being seduced by this, that, and the other. And I think the universe is saying, well, look, this person's intentions or your intentions, Gemini, are just back and forth. You say one thing, but you do another. And if that's the case, if you are being manipulated, universe is vast. There's lots of opportunities out there supplied by the universe. You need to be grateful and approach this loss that you have with this individual with gratitude. In other words, that you've learned a lesson. All right? Okay. If this doesn't change, transformation, this deck uses reversals. So if the cycle doesn't change and if you don't move on, you're going to still face deception here with that deception card and stuck energy. You're going to be stuck with this deception. All right, you will be stuck with it. So what I was saying, this reading probably, it's lasted a very long time, I know, is not to kind of allow yourself to be stuck with somebody else's ideal, because they'll tell you something to keep you with them. If it's you doing it, then maybe you need to stop doing it. Because you're not going to be able, if it's you doing it, you're not going to be able to maintain it. If it's them doing it, they're not going to be able to maintain the promise that they're giving to you. Simple as that. All right, we're going to come back with your work reading very quickly. Bear with me. Okay, Gemini, let's have a look at your work reading. Okay, Gemini, let's turn this around. Okay, like so. Let's have a look at work. 2 of Cups, agreements, partnerships. The Hangman. It looks like agreements or partnerships are stalling this week with the Hangman. So you might be running your own business. If you run your own business, Gemini, agreements, partnerships might be stalling. They might be waiting. Even if it's a job interview and you're waiting to start a job. It might be that you're waiting to sign a contract, that type of thing. The Hangman and the 2 of Cups energy showing here. You've got the Magician energy showing here. So it feels like an agreement here. There's a stall on that, okay? There's waiting to start the Magician energy, to start the job. Magician energy showing here. The 10 of Coins. I feel that this will, this will wrap up fairly quickly because the 10 of Coins is about the ending. It's a 10, so it's an ending of a cycle showing here. Yeah, all systems, well, no. Knight of Coins, slow. Ending cycle, slow. Feels like things are slow because the Knight of Coins is, in terms of an action card, it's slow moving. Very slow movement. Okay, so ending the cycle, Knight of Coins energy. It feels like this is slow showing up here. This can also be, the Ten of Coins and the Knight of Coins can be a secure, permanent job, for example, showing there. Let's have a look at the next one showing up here. The Star energy showing here, might be feeling a bit vulnerable. Let's have a look at the next one. And you've got the Lovers though. Okay, so the Lovers is it's another partnership card, or there could be a choice to be made with that Lovers energy here. You might be feeling vulnerable. Possibly there's a choice to be made here with the Lovers energy showing there. Well, yeah, you've got the Eight of Swords energy showing here. Feeling frustrated is the Eight of Swords energy showing up there. The Six of Swords. So we're moving on from this Eight of Swords, moving away from feeling frustrated energy showing up here. It feels like you're moving towards, you're progressing towards this job. Eight of Coins is the job, it's the new job. So moving towards, so traveling to work, traveling to the job, moving away from the Eight. So there are advancements here anyway this week, it should be, because you've got two eights in the reading, and eights mean advancement. The Star and the Lovers. Okay, so the Lovers is choice. Well, it can be choice in work, but it can also be partnerships as well. It feels with the Star, this Star always feels very vulnerable to me on this particular deck. The 78 Elemental Tarot deck. Yeah, she always looks really, really vulnerable. Vulnerability, the Lovers, a choice. So you might be feeling very vulnerable. Maybe you need to make a choice here, or maybe you're going to be thinking, and actually that's your card, isn't it? That is your card, the Lovers. It's your major card. So this is, Lovers is communication, okay? Feeling very vulnerable. I think communication probably stalls, okay? However, the Six of Swords, moving on from this, perhaps towards the end of the week, you can see your way clear to moving it towards the job, finally. Let's do this reading again. In terms of work, I'm getting stalls in some form of agreement, signing up a contract here. The Magician energy. So this is starting. The Magician energy. Starting. Okay. Magician is creation. It's starting something. So there is a stall in an agreement. The Magician is initiation. So maybe there's a stall in a contract being drawn up. Because the Magician is the initiation and the Two of Cups would be the contract. I think there's somebody stalling on initiating, drawing up a contract here. Alright, I feel that with the Ten of Coins energy, that this accomplishment with the Ten of Coins energy, it's slow. It's slow. It feels like it's slow with the Ten of Coins and the Knight of Coins. But this can also be like, this is the permanent job, for example. It feels like initiating the contract is very slow. So it feels like it's a new job for some of you guys, or it might be a new project. But initiating that contract might be very slow. It might not, it might be a put on hold this week. Ten of Coins energy, this cycle might come to an end slowly, in time but slowly. It feels like with this Star energy, maybe some transparency and communication is blocked. So some of you guys don't know. I get the impression that you're looking for something else. You're probably going to be looking for a new job here. I get the impression with that Eight of Swords, the Eight of Coins and the Six of Air. It looks like you're looking for a new job. Eight of Coins, you might be looking for a new position here. Because the Six of Swords is progress, movement, looking towards. And the Eight of Pentacles is work, job, new position. It feels like some of you guys are looking for a new position. It feels like the Star is all about kind of openness and transparency. She's naked. So it almost feels like transparency and communication has been blocked. Eight of Swords is a block card. It's like it's limited. It feels like the transparency and communication is limited. So you don't really, I think in these cards here, Gemini, you don't really know what the hell's going on. And I actually think it's really irritating you because Eight of Swords is actually First Deacon in Gemini. That's your card. And that's you on the card there. So I think that you're feeling really annoyed that transparency and communication doesn't seem to be coming through. Okay. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for work, that you've got this contract that needs to be signed, initiated, signed off with I think with this Magician energy has been put on hold. And I think that this cycle coming to a close with the Ten of Coins may take some time. I do feel that some of you guys transparency Star within communication about this position. So what's going on with it? Why is it taking so long? I think it may further be delayed with the Eight of Swords energy. I do feel though that there are advancements this week and things are moving forward, but perhaps not as well as you would like. Some of you guys, I actually feel, are going to start looking perhaps for a new position. Okay. let's quickly have a look at your love reading. Okay, so Gemini, we've got the love cards down. I mean, we already had a love reading, didn't we, really? We already had one that was the one that we did before, but we'll have a look at this one anyway. Oh, you got the Eight of Coins. So the Eight of Coins is hard work and effort being put into a relationship here. The Nine of Coins. Some of you guys are feeling really secure, I think, with the Nine of Coins energy here. Oh my God, you've got 2 9s, sorry, and an 8. So something is coming to a completion. For some of you guys, you've put a lot of effort into a relationship, and I think it's beginning to pay off with that Nine of Cups, because Nine of Cups would be that you're gaining. Nines are attainment, so you're attaining security and that type of thing. So it feels like hard work. Eight of Coins is starting to pay off with that Nine of Coins energy. Great deal of satisfaction, I think, with that Nine of Cups energy. Also, the 2 9s mean that this relationship, I think, this week is moving up a notch. What have we got here? Wow, you got a lot of coins, which is quite nice. 7 of Coins, seeing the fruits of one's labours with the 7 of Coins energy. But the Queen of Swords, that could be you there showing up. So Queen of Swords. Now, Queen of Swords in a love reading can mean a couple of things, really. Queen of Swords can mean that you're getting hurt. Queen of Swords can also mean that you're cutting off from something here. The 7 of Coins energy here. This could actually just mean no longer waiting, because she cuts away from whatever's in front of her. 7 of Coins can sometimes be the need to wait for something to develop. But I feel that this almost says that you're no longer waiting for something here. It actually feels that you're not, because of these 2 cards here, and this is good. Hard work paying off, 9 of Coins, feeling satisfied. Feels like you're no longer waiting. Feels like that cuts into that 7 of Coins if it's a waiting card. Let's have a look here. The 7 of Fire. So there are choices to be made there. You've got 2 7s. So there are changes coming in to your relationship, because 9s are not just attainment. 9s are also coming to a place of completion. 2 7s mean choices. So you've got choices in the relationship as well this week. Let's have a look at the next one. The Knight of Earth energy. So the Knight of Earth could mean to build. So sometimes in a relationship it's commitment and building. You've got a couple of choices here. Knight of Coins energy. You've got those same sort of cards. 6 of Swords energy. Progress. Slowly progressing. Moving towards success. Slowly, Knight of Coins progressing. 6 of Swords to success. 4 of Coins energy and stability. 4 of Coins is stability as well in a love reading, all right? It's not always selfishness or possessiveness. Sometimes it's just plain old stability. I think that you guys are definitely rising above any challenges this week. It feels like you're slowly progressing towards success and stability. Success being Chariot and stability being the 4 of Earth. I'm seeing hard work paying off. All right, seeing the attainment of happiness and joy and contentment within a relationship, no longer waiting. Seeing you finally with the 7 of Wands energy. It might even be some of you guys, maybe you're being asked to get married or you're being asked to move in. Because the 7 of Wands in a love reading can also mean somebody who is showing you just how desirous you are. So it feels like you're no longer waiting for something. Somebody's telling you just how desirous you are. And you're slowly progressing towards success and stability, for example. So it feels like things are moving upwards in this relationship. Really good reading. Things are definitely moving upwards, and we've got these 9s as well, which are showing that there's a cycle changing here. There's definitely something changing. It's nearing a change here. So I just feel that you're moving from one phase for some of you guys to another phase for some of you guys in a relationship showing up, okay? And the hard work is paying off as well in a relationship. So you're starting to see those results. The Queen of Swords and that 7 of Coins. I mean, the 7 of Coins, it's interesting, this one, because it's almost like the fruits of the labour are already there. I just feel that you're seeing the fruits of the labour. Let's put it that way. You're actually seeing it because you are the Queen of Swords. You're Gemini. So you're starting to see the fruits of your labour. Hard work paying off. Attaining happiness, joy, contentment. Gemini seeing fruits of the hard work paying off here. 7 of Wands energy. The partner showing Gemini desire, slowly progressing towards the Chariot, success and security within relationship. Very nice reading. Let's have a quick look at what you need to surrender this week. What is it that Gemini needs to be able to surrender to this week? Or what do they need to surrender or surrender to this week in one card? Show me. Right, surrender the habit of people pleasing apparently this week. So speak your, what is it? Speak your, oh, I can't read that. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. All right, lovely. That's your reading, my darlings, for the week. My goodness, that took a long time. I don't know why that took such a long time. But anyway, that's your reading for the week, Gemini. I'd like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe. If you would like to order a reading, click on the comment section below. You'll find the link to my website or in the description box. There's other goodies on the channel as well for you to look at, so you can look at your 6 month ahead reading, January to June 2020. It's up there. I'll try and put a link at the side of this video, okay? Also, you can look at your month ahead for January as well. There's all sorts. So yeah, that's it. Take care, my darlings. Bye bye.